Look at yourself, man. Look at yourself. What am I going to do today to change what I see in this mirror? You're going to see me. You're going to see me for who I am, because I need to change who I'm not. And that accountability mirror just became raw. If you're not real and raw with who the fuck you are, nothing's going to change. How you address it is you face it. You face it every day. You face it every single day of your life. The things that how people look, how people act, how smart someone is. This is a race that you run completely alone. Are you accountable for what you're doing? Are you accountable? And I mean to the T. When you look in the mirror, that's the one person you can't lie to. This mirror would always tell me, my reflection would say, God, you are a pathetic man. How does that feel every day to be this way? I had to develop a mindset that was indestructible. I had to armor plate my mind. And it's about what you're saying to yourself, but it also comes with work. Thicken your skin, become more of a human being. Don't be afraid of the reflection in the mirror, because that's all you can be afraid of. Once you overcome the reflection in the mirror, you've done it. Because the mind controls all. This is the time when you have to gain control back of your mind. Once you start giving yourself more and more hope and start realizing, okay, the mind starts to be, okay, what are you doing? We're supposed to be going right and you're going left. You start then controlling your mind. Start finding more in yourself. And then that's when that shit starts to work for you. You got to control yourself in that moment. And you have to first be uncomfortable with how you feel about yourself. It's okay to tell these little white lies to ourselves. So we first have to face the real you. I'm afraid of my shadow. How can I overcome that? You have to face that in that dark room. In that dark room is who you are. But in that dark room is where you have to create another human being that walks out of that dark room to face who you are. That's the only way you're going to get over. That's Goggins. In the dark room, you face yourself. You realize you want to be better. You realize you don't want to be this weak, insecure person in the world who has all these problems that we all have. Mediocrity is everywhere right now. And we're all trying to find an easy way out. We don't want that person who's constantly challenging our weaknesses. We want that person who's constantly, making us feel nice and good and secure in ours. That's the mediocrity of life. You wonder why you're falling down now. Because once you reach the top of the mountain, you got to build a fucking another one. That's mediocrity. You gain knowledge through suffering. And on the other end of suffering is a world that very few have ever seen. It's a beautiful world, because that's where you find yourself. Suffering is a test. That's all it is. Suffering is the true test of life. I had to use this as the power that now fueled me. I had to flip it on its head and say, hold up. This might be exactly what I need. I'm overpowering myself every day. And you got to find tools to do that. That's the tool that I use. My biggest advice to give everybody in the world is, like I say, we live in an external world. Everything is you got to see it, touch it. It's external. If you can, for the rest of your life, live inside of yourself. Stop listening to people who are calling you fat, gay, transsexual, nigger. Everything that is makes no sense. All these insecure people putting their insecurities on you, you got to flush it out. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself. And I'm not saying don't believe in God or what you believe in, but right now, for you to find greatness in yourself, greatness is whatever the hell you've dreamed of in your own mind. You got to first see it. You got to first create this vision in your mind. And then that's when I come into play. Once you create this vision in your mind, it's how am I going to get there now? You will never learn from people if we always tap dance around the truth. So the only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful and as brutal as it is, it changed me. Whatever you think you are, you have to make that dream a reality. But that's where the hard part is making that dream reality. That's where the hard work comes in. That's where people know, how do you keep grinding every day? All the energy and fuel you need is right in yourself. It's all there. You got a lot of stuff to do to overcome. And that's where I found it. I found it right there in my own insecurities. I found drive in my own insecurities. And that's the most powerful thing in the world. When you can find drive in your own doubt, fear, insecurities, you become very unstoppable. I want you to realize that this world, life, is one big head game. And once you learn to play the motherfucking head game, it's no longer a game anymore at all. You can start living your life.